Crankshaft seals are here. I have the O-rings in my car. I'm going to take apart what I can here on my own, and then what I can't, I'm headed over to my buddy's house, a good friend of mine, and he has agreed to help me disassemble this thing and put it back together properly. First thing is this gear and bearing, and this is a locking tab kind of deal, like many motorbikes got. 32mm socket. That gear seems like it is pressed on, so we're going to have to pull her off of there. I am going to attempt to gently tap on this gear. You folks don't cuss me, I'm just going to gently tap. With this here, let's just see if she moves. Aha! She moved, look at that. Oh yeah. See, it's just from, you know, never being took off, I'm sure. And there you go. Sweet. A Woodruff key. I believe we have arrived at our first seal. It's right here behind this snap ring. So I'm going to get that snap ring off now. I don't have any big snap ring pliers. That's the way I always do these big ones. They're pretty easy, generally speaking. I'm already happy about replacing this seal because it's crustified, I can tell. So let's see if I can get her out of there. Look at that. She peeled right out. Cool. Yeah. That's complete garbage. That's junk. I'm so glad I took this out. It says Japan. These are original seals. So what? A 72 bike? How old are these seals? They're junk. Our nice new seal. I'm going to use this engine assembly lube. You guys have seen me use it before to put it on the inside of the lip. Possibly a little on the outside of the lip, and the reason for that is because it's not, grease can be fibrous. If the grease is fibrous, it'll kind of damage your seal, it'll chew your seal up. This assembly lube, safe to use, good stuff. I'm not afraid to put assembly lube on the outside of this seal because it bottoms out and it's held in with the snap ring. But sometimes I don't because I don't want the seal to slip back out. But in this case, it's probably better to do it this way. Now our snap ring. Always spin the snap ring inside the groove just to make sure she's seated nicely. We'll turn it around and do the other side. I presume this is the stator, I guess. 12mm socket, bolt head, whatever. It's got a little pin on it, which, you know, alignment pin, so that's cool. It would appear as though a bearing separator is the way to go to get this off. This one's too small. We're headed to my buddy's right now, and I'll just have to get it off there at his place. I'm at Max's house. We have the crankshaft on. This is called a bench center. But we have to check the rod shake. Lift that rod up, Max. So you just check it side to side like that. So we'll take that measurement on both of the rods because there's specifications for that. We're allowed 3mm, 30 thousandths converts to
3/4 of a millimeter.
3/4 of a millimeter. So we're way well within specs, nice and tight on that rod. When we check the crankshaft connecting rod shake, they're both within specs, well within specs. We check both of them, they're good. Now we're going to take this measurement right here to see where it's at now and make sure that we get it that close, if not closer, after we put the seals in and finish it. So now he's rotating it, holding the bearing, rotating the whole assembly, and this is our measurement. That's supposed to be within a little less than 2.5 thousandths. So what do we have, Max? What are you reading? See it looks like
5 thousandths.
5 thousandths. So this crankshaft is not within specs. We're starting off with it being at 5 thousandths. It needs to be less than half that to be within specs. So we're going to put the seals in and then make the adjustments. So you see what he's doing there? That's how you get your measurement. And we did a preliminary measurement because, you know, we've never done this before, so we want to make sure we get it right, if not better. So there's the bearing separator, just like I showed you. I had at my house, but wasn't big enough. You can use a puller with this, but we can't find it. This is a 1/2 inch piece of just, you know, round stock, because it has to fit down in the threads there. Now we're just going to use this press to push it out. Oh shoot.
Well, that's pretty though.
Didn't hurt it. Woo! Didn't hurt a thing, but it did pop off. I should have had some foam or something. It didn't hurt that. It's
No, it
paper.
didn't hurt this.
It didn't hurt nothing. Again, we never did this before, so we're going to scribe a mark across here in hopes of getting it back together properly. He's just scribing a little line through there with a square. That way we can line it all back up. And we're going to try and separate these two, where the connecting rod goes to this one and this one. We should separate this. I think there's 2 seals under here and 2 O-rings that need to be replaced. You ready? Yep. Mine's going easy. How's your going?
Give them this back here.
Seems like if we do them together,
Yep.
works much better, don't it? That's going on. That's it.
Hey, that did it.
That did it. In case you don't know what we were doing, see there? We're using this rod, and as the nuts open up, it's spreading that crankshaft. Here's the seal we're after. There's going to be one here, and I got to get this bearing out, and there'll be one on the other side of that bearing. You know I'm not going to edit that out, right, Max, where we screwed up. I won't. We'll put it on there and let the people see it.
Is that right?
Yes. Ain't going to hurt a thing.
Don't bother me, huh?
Nope. It happens.
Sure.
That's why we put it on there.
This one must have...
We caught it that time.
All right.
I'm sure you guys are used to this by now. I have forgot to put something in the video, so while editing, I saw that, caught that, and I want to explain. I did not show putting the seals on the bearings. Somehow it didn't get recorded. I thought I did, but it didn't. Anyways, you missed me putting those seals in. They're installed the same as the first seal I put in, and later in the video, one last seal where you just take out the snap ring and put the seal in. Also, I installed the 2 O-rings on there. And what's coming up next, I'm hitting the crankshaft with a copper punch and a copper hammer. And what we're doing there, just to make sure everybody understands, there's a hole in the crankshaft. There was a hole in there, that's where my punch went. And I'm hitting it to spin it, to turn it a little bit, to get all of our lines lined up so that it's straight. I'm positive they make a jig that you put this crankshaft in and put it back together so you don't get it off. But we didn't have one, so this is the way we did it. We're ready to press it back together. We have our square on there, lined our scribe marks back up, and then we'll check it on our bench center. We'll put shims in between here so it doesn't compress that together as we press it back together. Is it pressing easy?
That ain't came off, I guess.
Stop right there. Stop. It's moved a little bit. It sure has, Max.
Huh?
It's moved. Copper. The way people know. Right, ready? One more time. Right.
Good.
It's yeah, it's good. All right, let me get my light.
Yeah, you watch them lines.
All right, I'm ready if you are.
So how's the alignment?
Absolutely perfect. Now let me turn the camera off and we'll discuss this. Now, looks good. We're marking all the highest points as we rotate it around to adjust these to make it true in the center. Copper hammer. The highest point is right here on this side. We're going to smack it. It'll settle into this wood and it should even out and making this measurement closer, balancing the crankshaft. Here we go. I just got to smack it right there. What do you think? There we go. Oh, yeah. What do you think? Again?
No. Let's put it back in there and see what it does.
We're going to throw it back in there and see if we trued it up at all. We're tuning it in now. We're getting really close. This is our third time, I think, adjusting it. And we're, I think, really close. I'm even going to use a smaller hammer this time. And again, these are the high spots. This is where it's high. We're adjusting these two middle ones. And it's making the whole situation here straight. I believe we're done. Specs are 2.5 thousandths. Let me show you what we got. Here we go. I'm going to spin it and you guys look for yourself with your own eyes through my camera. I believe we are within 1/1000th of an inch, which is the thickness of oil. The thickness of motor oil is 2 thousandths, so we're half the thickness of motor oil here. We're gonna quit right there, call it good. I'm back home and I have this one last seal to install. Here we go. You can see this seal is crustified. Look at that. Did you see how that just popped right out? That is a clear sign that these seals are junk. So now I can put this stator back on. I think that's the stator. It's keyed. Nice. Look here, make sure you line your little pin up with the key slot. Our little keyway here. Our sprocket, commonly referred to as a cog here in Kentucky. Our lock ring is right here. It's got a hole there. See the little tab on the lock ring? That fits in the hole. Like so. Our nut. Our zip gun. Alright, this is already folded over on this side. In order to secure it good, I think I'll go to a different location. Like right here. That we got a brand new, nice locking surface, if you will. All nice and secure. I still have an O-ring to put here and a new one for the other side. That's it for today. I thoroughly enjoyed myself on this project. It was so much fun tearing that thing apart. I think Max enjoyed himself too. We worked together. Both of us have interest in the same thing. It's fun for us to see how things work. We've never done this before. And the point of this video, for me, part of it is not only to show people how that crankshaft comes apart and can go back together, but there's no magic in anything. Everybody thinks a lot of mechanical things that there's some kind of magic to it. There's not. You just need to research what you're doing, take your time doing it, and get it done right. This thing should have minimal vibration because we got it so close, like within 1/1000th of an inch. Unfortunately, because of a few life-changing events, my videos won't be up every Saturday anymore like they were before. I don't know what days they'll be up. I'll do my best. But if you like my videos, I recommend you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss them, because I don't know exactly when I'll be posting. As always, thanks for watching, men, women, and children. This is the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee without a doubt. Here's my
You
assembly.
was down there on the floor when you took the damn
I
thing
know.
apart.
I'll find it. I'll find it. I just gotta think. Hey, thanks again, Max, for helping me with this video. These people would not be able to watch this video if it weren't for you, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you.